Good evening, college esports fans. My name is Jake at Superman Casting Mori. Casting alongside me this evening is none other than Zader.
Yeah, and welcome to the PACG Overwatch.
Yeah, this is week 7 of the Pacific Alliance of Collegiate Gamers Spring Tournament. Now, we have a lot of esports titles, but tonight is for Overwatch. Thanks for joining us. We're excited to have you along for 3 amazing matches this evening.
Yeah, 3 amazing matches. First match is going to be a show match. Second match is going to be a rebroadcast. Just keep that in mind. Then our third match is going to be the official match of the night.
Yeah, I mean, it's super exciting. Now, the PACG has been going on for now 7 weeks, right? This is week 7. So let's take a look at how the standings, well, we can get those on their screen in just a moment. There they are. You can see Utah been commanding that lead. Man, they've been on fire so far in the PACG.
Absolutely on fire. Utah taking a 3-0. They are top of the seed right now, and they're going to get a free pass into the semifinals.
Yeah, Colorado looking great as well. And then ASU, will see them later on this evening. It'll be the last match we'll see tonight. And there's a lot of playoff changes that could happen based on what happens in that match tonight. We'll talk more about it as that comes along, but we're excited to bring some Overwatch action for you this evening. Man, I mean, Zader, talk to me about this first match. Let's look at the schedule. This first match is a show match, so it's not going to count for standings. It should be a blowout.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona being 0-2 right now, not looking super good. They've been trying their best, but really hasn't been looking too good. But Utah, obviously on fire. You know, these cross-region show matches, Utah is expected to win this match. But again, we really can't make these predictions and say that Utah is obviously just going to flat out win, because Arizona still has a chance. I'm not going to let anybody down here.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Overwatch, anything goes, right? Anything can happen. You can have these scrappy fights break out on different maps with loser's choice. Means things can be flipped on their head in a moment's notice. Those last few seconds of a fight can just go one way or the other, so it's not all set in stone, even when you may have a clear favorite for a match. But I'm excited. These first 2 show matches should be great. And then later on, the playoff implications between USC and Arizona State University. Man, that should be a great match to see.
That will be a really fun match to see. USC already having a great roster. We're hearing they do have substitutions here today. So that'll be really interesting to see who they decide to substitute out and how their new kind of team is going to see here. But obviously ASU, very good team. They have a very solid roster. They've got top 500 players. Their tanks are phenomenal tanks. And our median that we saw just the other week, on fire. Absolutely great DPS.
Yeah, great player. But before we get into those playoff implications, the final match of the evening, we're going to start out, again, with that show match between Utah and Arizona. Let's take a look at the lineups of these 2 squads coming into this evening. You can see, for University of Utah, they're 12-0 with their game score, the scores that count. 3-0 match score, undefeated, and they look great. Flame Turtle on that DPS with Daddy J, and then the tank line, Tetrum and Dog. They've been great there on the front line with Sin and CX Dave there on the support.
They are on that support, and great supports there. Substitute players, Mutaton and Tandon. We'll probably see them a lot this match. I've heard that Tandon's going to come in maybe the last
for the
game
show
there.
matches, why not?
For the show match, why not? But Arizona, iProgress, sitting on the DPS along with Not GM. Hopefully he's either GM or not GM. His name could lie. And then we've got 3 tanks on the team: Agent Snow, Super Micro, and Tierfink. And then the 1 support there, Revenos, sitting there. The substitute players, Yugs, Bunnyo, and Melon as their flex.
Yeah, so they have a good spread of players, a little bit more tank heavy in their starting lineup that we're used to seeing from Arizona, but they haven't lost every single game, so there's a possibility, as we said before, that they could take a game off of Utah.
They could take a game off of Utah. That's true. They could ruin our perfect game score of 12-0 here, which would be exciting to see, honestly. Kings Row, definitely not one of our most loved maps.
I don't like that map.
I don't think anybody likes that map. I don't like it either. But
Seth likes it.
Seth likes it. I don't know why. He's crazy, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to admit that. But we'll have to see exactly how this goes. The region standings right now, Utah has the favor.
Yeah, for sure. And once again, this first match, this first set of games here between Arizona and Utah are just show matches. They don't count toward the official standings for the spring tournament of the PACG. but later on this evening we will have. But this is super exciting. We've chosen the map to begin our evening between Arizona and Utah. It's going to be Blizzard World, that new map that's just been recently released.
Welcome to Widowmaker's Playground.
With a cancerous opening gate, I have to say. That map, it's just seemingly impossible to make it through that first choke point.
Seemingly impossible it is. You have to either run a full dive and maybe hope that you can get past whatever is standing on the high ground there on the right, or you have to run a very slow push composition here. I'm interested to see what these teams are going to have today. I haven't seen Utah play at all. I haven't seen Arizona play at all on this map. I don't know what kind of team compositions they want to run. I know Utah plays a lot of dive.
Yeah.
I'd expect them to have a lot of, either dive or anti-dive, just depending if they're attacking or defending on this map. But I've heard also slow pushes work well as well. So we'll just have to kind of see what rolls out here. But I'm expecting a dive composition.
And from that, like your compositional predictions here, Zader, I'm curious what you'd expect from Daddy J specifically. One of the star players from Utah. He's the DPS. He's really good. You mentioned Widowmaker. Even Genji, if he has to play in that dive composition. What do you expect from him on this specific map?
I'm expecting Widowmaker in Blizzard World. Honestly, on both attack and defense, it's so strong. You absolutely need a Widowmaker on this map. You have so much high ground opportunity. You have so much pick opportunity there, and especially in that front gate, like you mentioned. It's very important to have a Widowmaker on this map on both sides, because if you only have one on defense, you're not running one on attack. You've got to make sure you either take out the Widowmaker first, or she's just going to have unlimited range and unlimited kind of just free range on
even on attack. Because on attack, it seems like there's not as many high ground options, at least for Widowmaker to have a really good vantage point.
Definitely not as many high ground options, but the pick opportunity is there. Unless everybody's holding that high ground there on the right, which I'm assuming they will. I hope so. Everyone should be holding the high ground on the right. Unless everybody's standing behind that shield, we'll just kind of have to see exactly what goes on. Sometimes Widowmaker works. I'd expect it, but if it's not working out, the immediate switch is going to come out, and they're probably just going to go with a full dive.
Yeah. 4 tank?
Quad tank possible, but that's the slow push option for sure.
All right, remains to be seen. We're just about ready to get into the game. I'm super excited to see this. Once again, it's Arizona, University of Arizona versus University of Utah, our first matches of the evening. It's just a show match for you to show off these collegiate stars, really.
Kind of just flex your muscles,
Yeah.
We might see interesting compositions, might see some testing here. It's very possible. Really, Blizzard World is a new map. I don't think everybody really has a handle on what compositions work here, honestly. Yeah. Obviously, you have your very meta compositions like dive and everything, but there could be different things. I've heard triple tank or 3 tank is also very, very new. So we'll have to see if that works on this map as well.
Yeah. A lot of things to figure out, right? When you have a new map get released or any sort of new position or a new champion, I should say, new hero, there's a lot to work on, a lot to figure out, not just in your own play, your individual play when you're just queuing up for competitive matches, but also as a team. What works? What gels? What are you guys comfortable with, right? So there's a lot to learn, as you mentioned, with this map. I think it's a well-designed map in the sense that it looks pretty.
It did look amazing.
It does look, I think Blizzard should actually fund that project, and it better match, especially they have like in the base room, one of the spawn rooms, there's the map of Blizzard World. It better match that if they actually made this into a live thing.
And then have a little floating overlord there in the sky. You can see it off in the distance.
Blizzard, take my money. Right?
There we go. I would visit that every day.
Right? Why wouldn't you? I mean, you could have. It would be kind of cool to see if they could track down like popular cosplayers on the like to play specific characters, kind of like you'd see in Disneyland or something like that, where you have people hired on to be those actors. I mean, cosplay is a huge thing for esports. Why not, get the cross there, translated across?
Imagine meeting Soldier 76 in real life. But here's the game. We're going to see Utah here starting on the attack.
And a pretty well-rounded composition, I would say.
Pretty well-rounded. Flame Turtle on the Doomfist. This is actually very new for Utah as well. That Doomfist in this kind of dive composition works very well. But we do see Daddy J on the Widowmaker on attack. Like I said, they're actually holding the main point here, Arizona.
That's curious to me. Normally you'd see them push up a little bit further than the first push here, but man, this is an explosive start here. Doomfist already diving the back line.
Diving the back line, putting a lot of focus into Moira. That's a really big pick here for Utah. Flame Turtle dropping really low, unfortunately getting taken out there by Super Micro, finding
fall down. You can see Daddy J really comfortable on the high ground here with the flank. Nice headshot on a Super Micro. That's 2 quick deaths in a row. Nice hook.
And Daddy J getting very, very close here. Roadhog just putting a lot of focus into him. Daddy J falling down. Utah not having as many players as they'd like here to take this point. They're gonna have to kind of fall back and regroup here at this point.
Yeah.
But this is what I expected to see from Utah. This kind of dive composition here on attack. CX Dave, very lucky save there by that lamppost.
Yeah, and you can see ultimates are just coming up for a handful of members on both of these squads. They can get really explosive. This is a scrappy fight, close. The melee's in range of each other. Winston in the fray. Here comes Doomfist. Will the ult land?
He's looking for that Zenyatta. Oh, and that would be Zenyatta's life.
Almost 100-0. Now, Epicenter does the most damage of that spell, but it doesn't actually quite hit perfectly.
But Utah, everybody coming in collapsing on that pick there, on that Reinhardt, and kind of everybody pushing up and pushing everybody away from this choke point here. And here we see Daddy J using advantage of all of this high ground on this map.
Yeah, really convincing first push there, and they're going to just regroup, as you said, and make this push here. Winston is the first to go forward. Flame Turtle's in there, but he gets taken out very quickly.
Extremely quickly.
Nice
we saw the
ultimate.
Transcendence come out from Arizona as well, you know, really protecting their entire team here. iProgress sitting with the Soldier 76 ult. He's going to look for, you know, kind of a better moment to find it here. He's going to wait for CX Dave to get out of that Valkyrie mode so he has a little bit more range on him. And here we see CX Dave a little bit out of position.
Yeah, it looks like this is just going to be a little bit of a split fight. You can see that there's not a full-on group from either one of these squads. The support players have been on those flanks and kind of having to regroup with their teams to not get caught out of position. Speaking of caught out of position, oh my goodness, that was really low health there from the Lucio, almost falling. This Diva play from Dog21 looks slick.
Diva on Dog21 is extremely, extremely powerful. He's focusing down this Lucio. He makes sure he's not anywhere around the team. Lucio is completely useless at this point. He's not anywhere around the team. He's not providing healing. He's not providing any speed boost. Yeah, he has to go around to get back.
It's the second time he's barely gotten away with like 20 health, Zader. It's crazy to see this play. Nice escapes at least from Remnos, but look at this. Once again, the Diva just with the flank. Putting a lot of pressure on the tank line.
So much pressure on the tank line. He'd be able to do so much damage to these big targets. And here we see the Diva ultimate coming down as well. With all the focus coming onto him, he was probably about to go out of mech there as well. So might as well burn that ult, get back in mech, and keep that health pool.
Yeah, it's a good amount of healing to reset your health pool and kind of zone them away so your team can reset, regroup, and make a new push. You saw how quickly Utah was able to take the first point. Now they're trying to escort that payload, but it's a little bit slow moving at this point. Ooh, the Mercy gets so low.
There it is. The Helix rocket's coming out, sniping CX Dave out of the air as she's trying to fly back to his team.
Yeah, without your support, you're going to have to back way off. You can see
Agent Snow, 7 HP there. Whew. Oh, Tearfing, good job.
A little far forward. Flame Turtle has been playing super aggro. Again, this is a show match. You mentioned it. Flex your muscles. What hero better to do that than Doomfist as he's throwing out those punches? But he's getting caught a few times. Maybe he has to take a breather, reset, rethink his strategy, and where he can actually get those flanks off. Will we see a headshot? Not quite yet. Really close, though.
Yeah, he's Daddy J's playing those line of sight position as well. He's very far in the back, and he's making sure that he's not able to see him there. Transcendence popped as kind of a worrisome there because Flame Turtle's pushing so much pressure there into the back line of Arizona. 2 picks on that meteor strike.
Just as Transcendence times out, he lands the ultimate. That's really good. And you can see Genji ulting on the back line. Hasn't quite found a target yet, and he actually gets picked off. Nice work there from University of Utah to focus him down. You can see Lucio caught once again. The positioning on this support player is a little bit lackadaisical at this point. Needs to reconsider where he's actually safe being, because they seem to have Utah seems to have Revenos's number at this point.
Yeah, Revenos is having a really hard time sticking with his team because he's being focused out by this Doomfist and by this Diva. He's being pushed away from everything. Here we see another Diva bomb from Dog21 picking out 3
oh my goodness!
players of Arizona, and that's going to be a full sweep of Arizona's team. Winston is running for his life here at this point. Flame Turtle on his tail, chasing him as much as possible, trying to punch him into the wall, not able to find him. Agent Snow escaping with his life.
Oh man, just shy of the team kill, Zader. What a great comboing of the ultimates there. Diva play. I mentioned how good it is with the flank and the pressure you're putting on the front line. Being able to use the ultimate like that is truly skillful. This is a really scrappy fight, though. You can see the shield has already broken. Winston has to reposition. Flame Turtle falls once again. The Doomfist, super aggressive.
Super aggressive Doomfist, but this is exactly what you want to see from Doomfist. He's focusing those supports. He's putting so much pressure on the backline of Arizona. Arizona has to put so much attention to him, while the rest of Utah, Daddy J, and then we see Dog21 chasing everybody around. They're putting so much focus into Flame Turtle. No one else is able to kind of see where Utah is.
Yeah, like I said, they seem to have the number of the backline there, the healers from Arizona. And now that Flame Turtle has swapped over to this Tracer, it's only going to get worse, right? The damage will just be so annoying to deal with. Nice flank there. Agent Snow falls. This is Flame Turtle once again. Switches to the Tracer and seems to be just popping off.
Doing everything he can, dealing so much damage. Daddy J with 2 headshots on both of the supports. That is Arizona's team falling there. Round 1 goes to Utah on attack. They're going to do a full push.
Game on indeed. The Diva play on the front line to keep that pressure. Flame Turtle's flanks and just the dive of the back line look beautiful there. Yes, he kept falling time and again, but as you mentioned, Zader, he just puts all sorts of pressure and zones away the healers. And when you're playing AoE healing from like Lucio and the like, you have to be in the fights. You can't afford to get forced away like that.
You cannot afford to get forced away like that at all, especially as Lucio, like you said. And we saw a lot of that from Dog21, but we also saw all that pressure coming in from Flame Turtle as well. 2 really highlight players here in this match, providing so much pressure there in the backline and making sure those supports theoretically useless.
Yeah, theoretically. Zone them enough, and then they really can't contribute to the level they need to deal with the pressure that Utah brings. So, very convincing first game win.
Yeah, very convincing first game win. We're also going to most likely see Utah play an anti-dive composition here on defense as well. Most likely going to see just around the same composition. Daddy J's still going to be on that Widowmaker. We saw him on Widowmaker on attack the whole game there as well. He got very key picks there at the end as well, which is really important to see Daddy J on the Widowmaker getting those key picks on the supports and everything. Really good play from him. We're most likely going to see him on Widowmaker on defense as well. Probably going to see him getting a lot more picks because they're going to be a lot more focused and balled up here.
Fair enough. Widowmaker's Playground, as you call it, here for Blizzard World, the external section of that map seems to be great for her. There's a lot of high ground options. But as they moved in, they switched off of that. They went for a more aggressive dive hero, excuse me.
Right.
Do you really expect to see only Widowmaker, or would you maybe consider more stationary DPS carries? Look, maybe hovering the Bastion, perhaps.
He's not even hovering the Bastion. They are set up there with that Bastion, sitting up on the high ground. I don't know even how they got on the... I'm seeing a different perspective here, but they're on the roof right now with that Bastion. I don't know how they got up there. I don't know what kind of boost that is to sit up there.
That would have been interesting to see it develop. But that's a nice position there with Orissa's shield. It's going to be a lot of damage. First blood is going to be the Widowmaker. It isn't Flame Turtle. It's high progress. Man, look at that trade. The 1v1, Daddy J.
Definitely knows how to counter a Widowmaker there.
Sure does.
And we see Flame Turtle. He's just getting picks. I mean, he's sitting up there. He's basically uncontested. There's nothing that can really get him off of that ledge. Tetrum has to balance himself kind of on this roof as well. He doesn't want to slide off.
No, he does. I mean, Utah's hit scan damage is just insane at this moment. This chokehold at this point seems incontestable for Arizona. I mentioned how this area of the map, particularly this map, is just, it feels cancerous to try and aggress through.
It really is. I mean, you can't contest that Bastion. He's got a permanent shield on him, basically. And look, you don't even have a sightline on him as Widowmaker. You can't get any shots there. This is going to be really interesting to see what Arizona wants to do about this Bastion because they have to take care of it. Dog21, really good hook there onto Winston, providing a lot of pressure and damage. That pulse bomb not really finding anything, though.
Yeah, maybe hoping to zone, be able to hit the headshots, but you want it to deal damage more, so not actually going to land that pulse bomb. But you can see there's a handful of ultimates coming up in just a moment for Utah. They don't even need them at this point. They're just crushing this defense.
They're absolutely crushing this defense. This is not something that I expected to see from Utah at all. I didn't even know you could run Bastion on this map.
It's like a stationary pirate ship, it feels like. You got that Orisa shield just keeping him safe. You mentioned the line of sight just is a perfect position However, it is that they got the Bastion up there. We'll never know.
And the Orisa, I mean, both of the very immobile characters kind of have to, I mean, maybe they started with a Mei. It's possible they started with a Mei and did a Mei wall boost up there. That's one thing I could assume that happened. But I progress on the Pharah now instead of the Widowmaker, I believe.
This is
going to be really key. He's able to take out Daddy J with one boosted rocket, and also he's never mind.
He was trying. He was trying. I mean, you have to, right? You have to try and find an answer to this Sentry Bastion. He's just mowing people down, and you can imagine, as soon as things might get hairy, Tetram's ult is almost there. You're going to have a 50% damage boost onto an already massive DPS hero. This is crazy.
So this is what we want to see. Supermicro on that D.Va with that D.Va bomb ready. If he can push this D.Va bomb up onto that roof and get Flame Turtle and you know, theoretically kill Flame Turtle with that D.Va bomb, that's just their only chance really of getting up there. Because I mean, the Pharah rockets they're not gonna find Flame Turtle. They're not gonna find him at all.
Yeah, really interactive Overwatch at this point. You're just trying to maybe get some splash damage from far away, try and break the shield. I mean, Orisa's the best champion to have there, helping the Bastion stay safe with the almost 100% uptime that shield can have. It's kind of insane. Oh, nice snipe there! Sin with
right
the
clicks.
headshot. Yeah,
right clicks, man. Ugh. Oh, Dog21, really good hook onto iProgress. Is going to put him way out of position there, and he's going to fall to Flame Turtle.
Yeah, only just under 30 seconds now remaining for this first push. Remember, this is just Objective A. They still have to be able to take this point before even contesting the next. It seems that this is an impossible situation here for Arizona. It was so convincing from Utah, but now the ultimates. That means Flame Turtle's not sitting on that position for much longer. He's likely to fall through. Yes, he does. He actually
fell. He got booped off. iProgress, very good.
This is your moment, Arizona. Take it. Run.
Yeah. This is Arizona's moment. They need to capitalize, and they need to not die. They have to keep their team alive, and they need to make sure that Utah cannot get back to this point. Their spawn time is long, and they have a really long walk back here. Arizona needs to capitalize. They need to push up. Sin, really good ultimate here. Transcendence coming in, keeping his team alive.
Last few seconds. Will they get somebody at the point? Nah.
That's it. Utah with the most unexpected hold composition there. Flame Turtle, man, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it at all. Daddy J with the play of the game, however.
Tracer.
Very experienced Tracer here. He's been playing a lot of Tracer.
Wreaking havoc. Just running around wherever he wants, really, because they have that chokehold on the other edge. The other way to try and aggress on the point was completely covered. Look at that. Just the DPS is amazing. The hit scan damage was gnarly.
It's so much hit scan damage. There's just really nothing you can do about it. The Pharah, they really tried to attempt, and that is really one of the best answers that you can get to Bastion. But really no answer, because that Bastion was placed so well that nobody could really get to him.
Yeah.
And if you did get to him, I mean, he's already lasing you in the face by the time you get there, and Tetram's there also with a turret, and the shield, everything. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that composition. I really hope that nobody else uses that against me in comp, because I would hate that as well.
I know how I feel about it. Feels bad, man.
Feels bad, man.
Bad against that. I mean, can you imagine? It's already so hard to play offense on Blizzard World, period.
Right.
Playing against a setup that was as well executed as Utah just showed us.
Absolutely phenomenal setup.
Yeah. It's super feels bad, man. So.
I don't know. I didn't expect that. I thought I was going to see an anti-dive composition or more standard defense, but that is something I've never seen before. I know I am aware that Utah does like to run those protect the turret compositions, whether it be a Torbjorn or a Bastion, but I did not know that that position existed on this map and that they could do that, and they executed it perfectly. I don't know if there was a time that Bastion died other than when he was in tank mode and couldn't kill the Pharah.
And fell off into
the
water.
water. Right. Like other than that, I don't know if Bastion even took damage.
Yeah, I mean, he sat on his ult for like the entirety of that round.
Oh yeah, he didn't even need
to
use
need.
it. I mean, the Q button was non-existent.
No need.
I'm pretty sure he took the Q cap off.
He just takes the cap off, throws it over his shoulder. It's like, I don't need this. Why would I need this button? It does less damage from my current position.
Right.
So, nice position. I love that setup. I want to try that.
I want to try it too.
Would you rather be the Bastion, or would you rather be supporting the Bastion?
I would rather be the Bastion. I'm a DPS player myself. I feel like I could play Bastion pretty well. But I mean, as far as support, I know CX Dave on that Mercy had a really good position. He was able to get back to the Bastion if he needed to and do the damage boost. But also, CX Dave, you saw him going to his team and healing them as well at those key moments. Yeah. And able to bounce between the two. I can't personally do that. I can't play Mercy that well.
It takes a lot of awareness. You've got to be watching the health bars of your team. You've got to have full knowledge of what ultimates are available to maybe catch you in that rotation. Right. So really nice awareness, great Mercy play. I mean, that's really good. I like seeing that level of awareness from support players particularly because with a hit scan DPS champion, what you're doing is you're watching your screen, you're trying to predict enemy movements so that you can land the headshots, you can land the damage, and melt people's health bars. Right. But as a support, you're watching that so that you don't die, right. And you're also watching your buddies to make sure that you're in the right places at the right time, like you mentioned. Healing over here, damage boost over there. I mean, if you can get 50% damage boost from your Mercy, 50% from the ultimate, the Supercharger, man, that is a scary Bastion if it isn't scary already on that roof.
Yeah, you know, luckily there is a damage boost cap. I believe it's like 70%. Yeah. So, you know, you don't get 100%. You don't basically get double the damage as Bastion, which, that would be ridiculous.
That would be nasty.
But again, there's still so much damage boost coming out with that Supercharger and that Mercy, like you said.
Yeah.
So absolutely phenomenal play from Utah, regardless of the composition. It does take a lot to make that work as well.
Yeah, it does. It's a lot of team coordination, a lot of setup, right. And you can do that on defense. But
you have time to set up on defense, luckily.
But holding it is a whole different ball game, right?
Right.
You can get there, you can set up because you have the extra time on defense, but once those gates open, once they start their assault, it can be kind of scary to try and hold very stationary positions. But we talked about the line of sight there on that position.
Right.
That was beautiful.
But I mean, you couldn't see him unless you were directly in front of him.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. But his line of sight was basically the whole map. I mean, the whole point. He could see everything in front of him, but you couldn't see him unless you were in front of him. And that's amazing positioning. Whoever figured that out, props to you. I know the coach of Utah. I don't know if anybody knows the name, but Snap, phenomenal player. I'm sure they've gone over so many plans with this and amazing. But next map, Hanamura.
Yeah, Hanamura. I love this map actually. I think it's
one
of the most
map too.
Versatile. Right, you can run on the first point specifically. You can run pretty much any composition you want. Right.
There's so many different compositions you can run. I personally like slow push compositions. There's a lot of different areas you can go into for those slow push compositions, like triple tank or quad tank.
I like Pharmacy on this map. I think it's gnarly.
Pharmacy on this map is gnarly as well, and Utah does have a very good Pharmacy. I mean, players, CX Dave being a very good Mercy, as we saw in that last match. Phenomenal Mercy play. And then Flame Turtle obviously playing a lot of Pharah as well. But roles are a little bit reversed here.
Yeah, Sin playing some Genji.
Sin's playing Genji, and Flame Turtle taking the role of that Zenyatta. They're giving Sin some fun. They're letting him play. Oh, maybe not.
The true question was going to be, will Sin out damage?
Will Sin out damage? But now we see a McCree instead. This is half dive, half slow push. McCree is very slow. He's going to rely a lot on sitting behind Tetram and Dog21 to soak up the damage while he deals out the damage. And Daddy J obviously on the Widowmaker as well, taking out iProgress. The Widowmaker duel goes to Daddy J. He's looking for those positions there. CX Dave getting up top, and now they're going to push onto the point.
Yeah, I mean, the first push will come through because that backline is down. You can see McCree struggling to land the headshots for the first little bit here. He's just going to try and take down the tank line, get their health bars low enough that they can make this pressure work for them.
And good for the backline flank as well. He sees iProgress on that Tracer, gets the headshot on him, forces the recall out. Very important. iProgress now has a very his health pool is gone.
Gets the revenge kill, though. Flame Turtle going to fall to the Tracer. iProgress, you mentioned it, great recall there into the blink forward. Nice flank. Ends up getting the McCree down.
Sen playing DPS anyway. Gotten 2 picks there. It doesn't matter if he's on Genji or he's on Zenyatta. He's dealing damage anyway.
Yeah, they are. Looks like they're just going to back off. Regroup.
Pretty convincing first point.
Yeah, very convincing. Over 6.5 minutes still remaining for Objective B. Utah looking real strong with their push here. Widowmaker play really aggressive.
Very aggressive Widowmaker, and this is exactly what it... Ooh.
Right click.
Right click.
I'm liking this. There is the infrared. Another
there goes
shot.
Not GM. He's looking for those supports. He sees Soldier. He sees him. He knows where he is. Soldier's not peeking him, though. Oh, there's the peek, and there he goes.
Ooh, man, this is beautiful. Another
Daddy
headshot, and here's the McCree ult. It's going to zone a little bit, keep them in the shields, but they step out for just a moment.
That's it. That's the point. That's a team kill.
Is that going to be game? Will they respawn in time, make a push?
I don't know. I think they're going to be able to hold him off the point here. Winston
Contested.
jumping onto point, though.
Headshots. Beautiful McCree. More of the right clicks. Beautiful work there.
Convincing second point as well.
Oh.
Convincing round from Utah. I have not seen a McCree come out with Utah at all.
I guess it'll work.
Flame Turtle, very convincing McCree there play.
When you get rezzed the first time and the only time you die, deathless game?
A deathless game. I mean, I don't know if I didn't see any other picks. I mean, I didn't see Utah really die. So deathless round, flawless, I guess. They got a full team kill there at the end. A phenomenal play, honestly. I'm very surprised.
Yeah, first show mash. It feels bad, but you mentioned it. Flex your muscles. Utah outclassing Arizona for the time being, but we'll switch sides here on Hanamura, and maybe we'll see a different story unfold.
Maybe they're more comfortable on attack. Maybe their defense isn't as good, but maybe they have a very strong attack. Arizona picking this map. They know the map very clearly, as it is loser's pick here. So they might have something under their noses here.
Do you expect another stationary hit scan defense here from Utah, or do you think they'll play a little bit more aggressive on the defense?
We might see the Torbjorn. The Torbjorn placement right next to the rock, or right behind the rock as well. We might see that. If not, it's just going to be an anti-dive, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But we could see a stationary. Utah knows how to play stationary compositions. They're good at it. But from what I'm looking at right here in our preview, I don't know if they're going to be playing that sort of composition.
Yeah, interesting that there wasn't any Pharah in that last round.
Yeah, they really haven't been pushing out the Pharah from Flame Turtle in these kind of situations. Clearly, it's a little bit of an easier game, I guess, for Utah here against Arizona. So maybe they don't feel the need to get that Pharah.
Oh, I was going to mention the Sombra, too. I hadn't seen that in any of the games so far, at least that I noticed, if they swapped onto it for even a moment. But going to bring that out here. The first little push. Chokehold's pretty good. Tank's really healthy as they actually breach the point. They're getting closer.
Ooh,
nice
Dog 21! Counter hook there. Dog 21 falling down. Daddy J on the Hanzo taking out iProgress with the headshot.
Yeah, that was really good from the Hanzo play, and nice hack. Keeps him from healing there on the Roadhog, even with that nice counter hook. That's going to be Flame Turtle popping off on the Sombra. That's 3 quick kills in a row. Not quite a triple, but very quick succession.
The hack on Ooh!
That was some slick play, Zader.
That was, I didn't expect that. I thought he was going to go land behind him, but no, that was an air hack. He came right above him and unexpectedly hacking that Reinhardt. No more shield. And that was the end of Reinhardt there.
Yeah, we're barely a minute into this, and Flame Turtle almost has his ultimate available. Now, Sombra has some of the fastest stacking of her ultimate passively in the game, but this is looking real strong from them. Oh, Lucio, watch yourself! This is the Widow
stay
play.
behind the shield! iProgress, he's zoning these people out right now. He knows what he's doing. But the EMP coming out from Flame Turtle, hitting almost everybody there from Arizona. They don't have any abilities. They can't do much, and they're gonna fall. Yeah. Everyone is
double
going
kill,
to fall.
triple kill, 4 quick kills. That's almost an entire team wipe. As Reinhardt was the only one left alive, he's gonna back into the point because he just res. Change to the Winston. Agent's now gonna try and tank for his team as they make maybe one more push here to try and defend. Now what's gonna be? Man, this is just scrappy fight after scrappy fight. Nice.
Dog 21 coming in with the flank!
The flanking hook.
Wow. I am impressed. I'm impressed by the positioning of Utah right now and how they're able to get these picks. They're able to do this. Flame Turtle zoning with the Dragon Strike there. Not the Dragon Strike, but the... that's the Dragon Strike.
Yeah, the Dragon Strike.
Right, and then there's Dragon Blade for Genji.
Yeah, not quite the best usage, I want to say. It did a little bit of damage, but it mostly just split the fight, but there wasn't really anything to follow that up. So I would have liked to see him hold that for a little bit longer, but you can't really complain too much when you're dominating this much early on.
He's doing really good on this Hanzo. He's getting these picks. He's getting these picks on Widowmaker. He's getting the headshots. He's doing the damage. He gets a pick on the support. Daddy J's just popping off on this Hanzo right now. Didn't expect this from Utah, and this is absolutely phenomenal play right now.
Really
Arizona's having a really hard time getting past this choke point.
Really strong hold. They're struggling to make their push while Utah's holding on to 4. Almost 5 now is quarter of the way away here for Flame Turtle to have his ultimate. That'll be so many resources available to them. You can see iProgress. He's going to help his team maybe make a push here with the infrared, but you can see they have a full-on hold on that entrance.
Daddy J dropping severely low there, getting all the heals though. I don't know. This is insane. I am very surprised that Utah is doing this kind of hold.
Whole hog though does a lot of damage, sets them up for a push. That's pretty nice.
It's pretty nice. Yeah, Dog21 doing a very good job, kind of pushing everybody out, countering this push, making it so they really can't get past this choke point. Now they're gonna fall back to the point as there was. It looks like I guess Revenos and Supermicro there had flanked back to the point, but
Utah just staggering their ultimates, not really in any situation where they have to use anything. They're just using I mean, this is show match, right? It's just for fun. They're just using whatever they feel like using. Nice counter there from Genji. He's gonna get healed back up. This is gonna be the push.
This is the push for them. This is what they need. However, that
nice
EMP
hack.
coming out, that's going to stop the push, I believe. No, Zenyatta still has his ultimate. The Transcendence coming in. They're actually able to push onto the point here. And a lot of Utah falling to all of Arizona. Arizona might take this first point, and we might see them actually have time to push a second point. They're going to get an extra 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I believe, here to get the second point. They did wipe Utah. Dog21 sitting in the back, probably going to stall for as long as he can, waiting for his team to get back. Taking out iProgress, he's doing as much of a stall as possible, but
2 out of 3, they back off. They're not going to keep contesting. They're going to reset, regroup to defend Objective B. You mentioned it. 4 minutes are awarded to them. They have 4 minutes to try and take Objective B. Oh, man, this is super scary, though. Even if they can do it, they still have a lower score because it's taken us so long to actually just get Objective A.
I think it's an extra 4 minutes. I forgot. Yeah, no, 4
a long time.
I was wrong. But
Genji with
they do have a long time to get this point here, and we'll have to see exactly how this goes. And they're taking the very casual push route here.
This
in the
is
top
a
right.
scary chokehold to try and make it through when Flame Turtle has now finally switched to the Pharah he's so well known for. That's a lot of damage. Splash
And
coming through in the AoE
already
chokehold.
getting picks.
Yeah.
Tetrum also getting picks there. Flame Turtle and Tetrum popping off, getting all the picks. Sim getting taken out on that Ana though.
And the Diva falls before pressing Q. That's crazy to me. Oh, nice pick there on Not GM on the side. They're just going to squad wipe, try and regroup, reset, and make one more push. They still got plenty of time. 3 minutes left.
iProgress switching to the McCree.
Ooh.
Wanting to counter that Pharah now.
Yep.
I'd honestly like to see a Soldier a little bit more reliable.
It is.
But Flame Turtle also doesn't have a Mercy on his side. So McCree is pretty viable without the Mercy there on the side. And here we see the Dragon Strike coming in, kind of pushing them out of their position here. Flame Turtle also taking advantage of them getting pushed out of the position, falling really low, however.
Ooh, almost picking Flame Turtle. Nice shield there from Winston. I gotta say, I feel like they should have a prescription for a pharmacy right now because without that level of healing or the damage boost, you're kind of a really squishy composition. All you've really got is Lucio for healing and
They're running triple DPS.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage, and only 2 minutes left. If you get wiped at this point, you could be risking losing. I mean, not the game
losing
overall.
the second point, but this is going to be the push. They're starting off with the Lucio boost here, and here we see Daddy J getting taken out by Not GM, focusing him out,
nice.
getting Flame Turtle as well in the air.
Sound barrier does work there to set up the Dragon's Blade. Man, that nice push from Genji, but he does die on the point. Nice defense here. Tetrum playing aggressive on Winston, sets up the barrier to help his team play super far forward on this defense. Remember, still just about 2 minutes, a little less than remaining, so not all is lost for Arizona. They can still make one more push, but they don't have the ults this time around.
They don't, but Arizona still has that Diva Bomb. They didn't use it during that push. They're not using all of their ultimates. They're not using their full utility. And I don't know why. They could have used that Diva Bomb to kind of spread Utah out and get more picks, but they didn't. They're saving this Diva Bomb. I don't know if they want something big. I don't know if they want to play the game, but they need to get more use out of this Diva.
Nice headshot there with some of the shurikens, but rounding the corner, doesn't expect the Bastion. Still alive for just a moment, but there is the Diva, as I said, actually finds no one. So now they're down that key spell. They're going to try and make a push with it. That's going to be counter ult there. Sound barrier is going to keep everyone healthy. Daddy J gets taken out. That's some of the DPS down. The tank is gone. That's 2 more falling. They could be making a push here. Arizona 3 on the point, trying to stop
on the Mei. On the Mei. This is they're doing a full hold here. Utah's actually worried. Utah is worried. They're switching to compositions that they need to hold, and they can stall as much as possible. You're going to see the Mei. This could be it. If Utah can pull off here, look at it. They're getting 2 picks. This is what the hold that we want to see from Utah. Phenomenal.
Zeta, this is so close. This is a nail-biter finish. 2 of the points have already been taken.
2 ticks.
2 ticks of the point. Man, this is so close. They still have 15 seconds to make one last strong push here, and they almost have 3 ultimates available. Lucio, you're going to have to stack that up. You need the sound barrier for this last push when there's so much of damage in this composition for Utah. The hold is true for the moment. Tetrum with a nice barrier that goes up at the last second. Nice flank here from the Genji.
And here we see Tierfing protecting his team, healing as much of his team as possible. They want to be able to get this push. They want this last 33%. Not GM pulling off the Dragon Blade, pushing everybody back out off of the point, getting through 3 picks there. Maybe, unfortunately, getting taken out by Dog 21. They're not focusing on Dog 21 right now. He's able to deal a lot of damage. Lucio coming out with the ultimate as well.
Yeah, Dog 21, man. He says, "Are you playing D.Va? That's my hero." Takes him out, and that's gonna be a defeat. Utah, man, taking a nice victory, but that was so close. Arizona almost making a convincing push at the end there.
Extremely close there. Arizona, really good push here. We're going to see iProgress get these 2 picks as McCree on the Deadeye here from up top, and this is where they're going to they're going to start this push and where they're going to get the very key 66% that they got here.
Yeah, takes out the other McCree, says, "Let me show you how it's done." Gets a couple kills. Great play there. Arizona putting up a true fight. That was awesome to watch.
That was an absolutely true fight. They did a phenomenal job. Arizona not tilting at all. They know that they can push. They know they have a good team. They know they have a chance, and they haven't given up yet, which I love to see. I love to see players with that kind of mindset and that kind of attitude that they're not giving up.
Yeah. Don't take a breath. It's a show match, yes, but you get to put your best foot forward, put your play on a show. And Arizona giving us quite the show when that last match was so close.
That was very, very close.
Yeah.
We could have seen them go into a second round or kind of a second game there if they both did a full push. Utah obviously would have had more time, but Arizona, they knew what they were doing. They had that attack, and they were able to pull through on those last-minute pushes. That overtime push to get the first point, and then there with the last minute, maybe minute 30 to go, getting the 66% there on the bar. Yeah. Really, really impressive.
They got 2 ticks. I mean, Zader, when University of Utah has been so dominant in the PACG series so far, they come into a show match like this against one of the lower teams in terms of rating at this point. When they choose to go triple DPS and get trounced for it, what does that tell you about maybe the overconfidence that Utah might have at this point?
I think there was a little bit of overconfidence there, for sure. And I think Utah is now realizing that they can't do that, and they need to not be doing that. Really scary to see Utah kind of falter there when they pulled that triple DPS. Yeah. And I think once they realize it, they realize, oh, wait, we can't do this. Just because it's a show match doesn't mean you want to lose these games. You still want to make sure you can win. You don't want your really show match score to go down either. Yeah. But out of their range, uncomfortable, not what they wanted to do.
Yeah, when you're 33% away from handing a game over to a team that you should not drop a single game to, probably shouldn't even drop a tick of a point to be honest. If you're playing at the top of your game, it becomes extremely scary to see them lose 60%, 66%, 2/3 of a point. But, I mean, most of that has to be said. Props to Arizona, bringing out their best possible play on Hanamura there. Really close. But that'll be 2-0 so far now.
So far. Next map should be a King of the Hill. Control point. Right. I believe.
I would love to see a more aggressive dive composition from Arizona on a King of the Hill map. I would love to see them almost play Utah's game and try and beat them at it. It is a show match, so you can try a little bit. Lijiang Tower is going to be the one that we have for this next game. So, what would you like to see on this map?
We're going to see Pharmacy.
Yeah.
You're going to see it.
Pharmacy.
You're going to see it on 2 of the 3 maps.
Dr. Zader here. You heard it here first, folks. The prescription is in. Pharmacy for which comp? Which
Utah.
team?
Utah's going to play the Pharmacy here. They're
right.
going to play it on Gardens, and they're going to play it on, oh no. What's the other map? I forgot what the other map is. But they're not going to play it on Space Center, on Control Center. That's where we're not going to see the Pharmacy. If it goes to all 3, or if Control Center pops up, Pharmacy's not going to show up. It doesn't work as well. But we're going to see it on the other 2 points.
All right. What do you expect from the front line? Just still sticking to their guns or their laser guns? So that you're going to have to.
I mean, we probably will see a lot of Winston and Diva if there's going to keep Tetrum and Dog21 there. And if they swap out with Mutatone, we might see more Reinhardt. We might see a little bit more of a static composition with a bigger shield. But it really depends. They're able to do this full dive, though. I think the front line's going to stay the same.
So talk to me, for Utah, if they do swap out to their sub for Mutatone, who are they trading out, and what does that do to their composition that they're likely to have?
They're going to trade out Tetrum.
Okay.
That's usually what they do. They put Mutatone in for Tetrum.
So no Winston. What do we see instead?
We're going to see Reinhardt.
Okay.
Like I said before, we're probably going to see a lot of Reinhardt. We also might see more Roadhog Diva, or maybe Zarya Reinhardt in that sort of composition, because Dog21 also plays a very good Zarya as well, and that's most likely what we're going to see in Control Center.
And if they bring in Tandon, who's being subbed out, what are we going to see the changes be?
Daddy J is going to be subbed out with Tandon. Most likely, we can see a lot more Genji and Tracer from Tandon, and
I like that. A little bit more aggressive
and less Widowmaker. So a lot more aggressive, like you said.
Yeah.
So really exciting to kind of see if these substitutes go out. I'm looking in right now, and it looks like Tandon and Mutatone are going to come in and sub.
Nice. So we should see Reinhardt, maybe some Genji. I like Genji on Gardens specifically.
I like Genji on Gardens as well. Very, very strong character in that map.
Yeah, I think both Genji and Tracer struggle a little bit more once they move into the control point, the second phase. But both of them do pretty well on Gardens. I just like Genji a little bit more because you have a lot of walls that you can use to set up your plays.
A lot of walls, like you said, a lot of wall climbing and a lot of areas that you can kind of peek out, peek in, escape, which is really unique. We also might see Sombra because of this. We might see a lot of Sombra countering that Genji because you can't wall climb as Genji anymore with that new hack change.
I like Sombra on the second point because there are so many really contestable health packs that you really want to have full control of if you're actually going to take the point and hold it the entire time.
Right. And I think that's why Sombra is so strong now. Yeah. Because you can hold all those health packs, your hack cooldown is lower, your hack time is lower, and you can get a lot more usage out of it. So we might see Flame Turtle playing a lot more Sombra, which I think will be really fun.
Yeah.
I think Sombra is a lot of fun to watch with so many different playstyles. You can play her as a dedicated flank character, hacking the main tanks, hacking Reinhardt, hacking Lucio, hacking those healers, and kind of sitting in the back, being kind of a pest. But you also see her playing a lot more in the back with her team, hacking those health packs, kind of denying the usage there, but also protecting your team if a flanker comes around if you see a Tracer.
And neither one of these rounds on this map are really Widow friendly. So talk to me about iProgress. What do you expect to see out of them?
I saw him play Soldier. He does have a good Soldier. I was seeing that. So we might see him play a lot more Soldier and a lot more McCree. I don't know really what else he plays here. We could see a Tracer from him. I would like to see a Tracer. I think Tracer's a very strong hero, and I think very strong kind of character to have in your team if you have a good player. Not very many counters to Tracer really at all, honestly. And if you're a good Tracer, it's kind of game winning, honestly.
Yeah. Might see a McCree answer it, but on these points, very difficult, I think, to actually get those picks.
It is difficult, and then the flashbang predictions on the Tracer as well are really hard, especially if you're playing against a Tracer that can kind of bait those flashbangs out. Because once you bait that flashbang out, you win. you win that fight.
There's nothing McCree can really do.
Yeah,
Nobody's
unless
that
unless he's some sort of phenomenal McCree with absolutely precise aim, getting a headshot and a body shot. I mean, really, Tracer can one-clip you.
You're talking about their McCree, because every time I have a McCree on my team,
oh
they're
yeah,
not
they
what
don't
you're
do
describing.
that. They don't do that at all.
It's always their McCree does everything. Our McCree never does enough.
And this composition is actually what I expected here from Utah when we made these substitutes. Mutatone and Dog21 on Reinhardt and Zari respectively, and now we're going to see Tandon and Flame Turtle playing kind of different DPSs here, but Death Ball composition. Everyone's going to be sticking together. There's going to be so much centralized damage here from Utah, and Arizona is going to have to reset I progress on Tracer like I had mentioned.
Yeah, it is the Tracer that comes through. Nice scrappy fight. The May makes this a really interesting fight, knocking off Agent Snow. Kind of an unfortunate pick there, but you can see the Tracer versus May 1v1. Not going too well for Flame Turtle. He's not actually landing anything.
He's not able to find anything.
I progress. What is this strafing from the Tracer? Oh, finally lands one, but there's the recall to get that health back. What a crazy 1v1.
What an absolutely crazy 1v1 to watch there. Flame Turtle he's just throwing all the right clicks out. He's not even using his snow there at all. He's not blowing any snow, not trying to slow anybody down. He's just trying to do as much damage as possible. And here we see the Death Ball composition working as expected. Everyone's in a group. Everyone's doing what they need to be doing. And there's the really big health pool. Sin and CX Dave able to just provide AoE healing all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, Utah, they're getting the point. It's ticking as the time passes. And you can see Super Micro only halfway towards his ult. They need that Graviton as soon as possible. Ooh, nice push here, though. Utah, nice chokehold. They're going to regen
in the back?
up.
I progress, maybe? Contesting the point there? There it is.
Sneaky Tracer.
CX Dave dealing with him pretty well, though.
Yeah.
Getting him down to I believe it was 40 health there. Very impressive.
Landing some of that hit scan onto the Tracer. That sneaky Tracer on the back line. Finally ticking some points. Super Micro now 2/3 of the way. They need that Death Ball to come online as soon as possible. I progress really getting back there again. Had already used first nade.
Oh, and here we see Graviton Surge coming out. Tandon getting taken out, though, so they're not really able to take full advantage of that Graviton Surge, and Arizona's going to capitalize on that.
Yeah, the counter push is real. You can see Lucio's just like, see ya, I'm going to get on the point, start contesting it, healing back up. Nice.
High charge from Dog21, though. He's dealing so much damage.
He is, but he has to actually land those laser beams. That's nice dodge out from the Lucio. He's going to heal up his team. There is the Graviton. They're getting sucked in. There's not actually the ball available. Nice Earth Shock into a pin. That's going to be a dead CX.
Tandon using the Death Blossom, though, taking out both of the supports from Arizona. This is a very convincing hold from Utah. That's where it's going to fall, though.
Oh, man. Now nice flank from NotGM. He's getting some good pot shots off from the side here. Using the nice bounces off the wall.
Normal Junkrat play.
Yeah, normal Junkrat play, but not quite finding the damage at this point. He has to play a little bit more forward, but it's scary to do against the composition.
A Death Ball composition like this, when you're in the middle of that, there's a lot of damage coming out to you. Here we see Tandon getting off of the Reaper, now playing Tracer. Tracer, very strong on Tandon.
Very good. Nice. Zoning away the damage that Arizona tries to put through. Two Coalescents just come through trying to answer each other. And there's going to be a Riptire. Where will it be? There it is above. Not actually going to get
anybody
anything.
At all.
Nice block there from the Reinhardt. That's why you sub that guy in.
Oh, no, the pin onto Flame Turtle. Utah not able to take this point back.
Yeah,
Arizona.
The sound barrier was real there. Getting a lot. Oh, forgets that the shielding's gone, and he's actually just going to follow the Tracer. Finally gets caught out. Progress going to have to respawn.
I don't know. Arizona, really convincing push and then really convincing hold. Utah maybe needs to make a little bit of switch here. We do see the Flame Turtle going on to Junkrat. So they're making the essential switches that they need.
Graviton available here and so close. There is going to be the ultimates will come through. Nice choice.
But 5 people there.
Awkwardly on different edges of that pillar. So you can't actually get that. In fact, they don't even get a wipe out of it. But now it's going to get answered with the same Graviton in reverse. Nice Coalescence. Goes through, the sound barrier to keep them healthy and alive.
Utah's using everything on this push.
Yes, they are. They have to, because you can see ticking towards that 90%. This is not one of those maps that you see a 99-99 game, but we might actually see that come through here. Nice contest. from Utah. They're making the push.
94.
There's the cap. 85, 86. They're approaching 90%.
Yeah,
there has to be a strong counter here from Arizona, or they're going to lose it.
Arizona's also staggered here. Agent Snow still has about 3 seconds here on his death timer. He's coming back. Arizona is going to have to trickle back in onto the point here, even if they are even able to make it. No, they're not. Utah 100% to 94. Arizona really, really convincing play, though.
That was so close of a game there. Really beautiful to see that round play out. Zader, that was really cool to see the counter ultimates, coalescences, flying past each other, the Graviton sucking in those teams. That was really cool.
Intense game, Superman. Absolutely intense. I had a lot of fun watching that game. We saw Graviton surges coming out everywhere. We saw rip tires coming out all over the place. We saw the Mei. I don't even know how that was working, but it was. We saw the Mei eventually getting switched off, though. But, I mean, everything coming out. Like you said, the coalescences and everything. But here we go. Back on the second map. It looks like now we're on Gardens. No, this is
There's the pharmacy. As you prescribe, Dr. Zader, you're going to get that. Flame Turtle and CX Dave, they're going to go with the classic Pharah Mercy to try and make the first push here. Not quite an unlocked point. This is actually a really crazy fight this early, right on top of the point.
Everybody's on flank. But look at that, Flame Turtle and CX Dave sitting in that window. They have a lot of mobility and a lot of places to peek down. Flame Turtle getting a lot of picks and cleaning up house there.
That was like a Bastion configuration tank cosplay. Just standing still, firing the rockets from the ceiling. Really crazy that they're able to just stand there. Nice actual straight direct hit. That almost completely took out.
Scaring that Zenyatta there. That Zenyatta,
yeah.
that has to be very careful. If a damage boosted rocket hits Zenyatta, it's almost guaranteed death.
Not quite hitting anymore, though. Ooh, falls to the backside. That flank could be scary, though, if you get caught out of position with your rockets on cooldown.
Oh, Dog21 falling down. Utah's down. Both of their tanks, Mutatone and Dog21, are both down. This is Arizona's push. This is where Arizona wants to capitalize.
Yeah, McCree trying to track that Pharah. Nice stun into combo. CX Dave puts down a lot of that damage boost for the barrage, but it doesn't actually find any targets, and you can see Arizona actually in control of the point here. They take it back over, though a third of it was already complete for Utah. Utah has to regroup, reconsider their strategy, because without the Pharah actually there on the map, there's not much they can do. Progress here looking real clean on the McCree.
Really clean on the McCree right now. He already has his ultimate up. He's getting very key picks here. He got taken out by the Mercy there early on, but understandable. He was low health.
Look at the charge here on Super Micro, though. And in control of the point, that's huge for them.
They're holding this point very well. Sin taking out iProgress. This is Utah's chance to push in. They have a pick, and they have that hack.
That was such a beautiful combo. The mute there came through, hacking them away into the Earth Shatter. Didn't quite actually net them as much as they would want, but just about as best as they could hope for. They're going to recap the point. Now they're trying to match that same percentage that Arizona had accrued for themselves. This is a really nice counter push here.
It's very even right now.
Just like we saw on the last round. I want to see it get just as close. Maybe a 99-99 again, Zader.
Yeah, Arizona seems very comfortable on this map.
Ooh, nice block there.
Really nice shield there from Dog21 blocking that flashbang.
Great reaction time. Here is going to be the Graviton. It's going to pull them all in.
Dog21 getting taken out by Agent Snow. Utah is down 1 now. Mutatone is alone on the point. CX Dave flying over to him, trying to save his life. Utah needs to capitalize coming in. Flame Turtle coming on the top. Rocket Barrage, immense amount of damage there. Agent Snow almost has no shield. Utah is able to capitalize even with 1 man down.
Oh, man. Any more plays like that, and it's a complete overdose of the pharmacy at this point. That was a really great play. The flank came through. Barrage didn't quite delete everyone, but it put the pressure there for certain so that Utah could recap that point, keep it in their control. Yeah. Now the push will have to be real for Arizona because there's only 8% left. This is going to be that final push. You can see Super Micro, he's charged up 70% of the way, trying to get a little bit more damage. Now they're trying to recap it. This is overtime. They almost recapped
the point. They got it.
Oh,
Utah got off the point. Utah not sitting on the point. Arizona's able to take that point back. This is that's not good for Utah. Utah does not want to be doing that. Flame Turtle's going to fall. Tandon, 52 health, either needs to back off or die here.
99-99, Zader, because look, it was 99%. They were in overtime, contesting the point, and somehow they just misstep. Utah just gets off the point for just seconds long enough for Arizona to take it back, but now it's a full-on contest. Utah completely in control. This should just be a few seconds. There is overtime. The bar is almost gone. Will they find it? No, they will not.
They will
Reinhardt
not find their way
was
back
the front.
to the point.
Can't quite charge to the point, and that's going to be the victory for Utah. But once again, a really close round between these two teams.
Absolutely close round. I don't know about you, Superman, but Arizona convincing play here on Lijiang Tower, and Tandon taking that play of the game away.
Is this the one with the push?
The full hack here.
Yes, that was
6-man
beautiful.
EMP, it looks like, or maybe a 4-man. I couldn't see everybody, but absolutely beautiful EMP. Tandon, great Sombra play.
Yeah, and that was right when they were hoping to make a counter push. Utah was in position there. Man, that was awesome to see these two teams go head-to-head. Yes, Utah favored to win it. I mean, they win, and they win convincingly when they're not trolling with triple DPS. But, I mean, those last few rounds in particular were a pleasure to watch.
Absolute pleasure. Arizona, phenomenal play from Arizona. They took the points back. They had great pushes. They had great holds. They had great defenses. Great teamwork from Arizona. Honestly, probably scaring Utah here. Even with their 0-2 score, Arizona still is strong.
You know, you mentioned how unless you're a god-tier McCree that hits all the headshots, McCree's not going to do everything you want against a pharmacy. But progress in that round,
very good.
His McCree seemed to prove you wrong, Zader. He's like, hey, it's not a legend. It's not a myth. I am that McCree, and let me show you how it's done. It was a pleasure to watch him hit those shots.
Man, it was a pleasure to watch everybody in this match. I mean, Utah had great plays. Arizona had great plays. I mean, we saw Super Micro sitting on a high charge Zarya that whole game. We saw Agent Snow, really great Reinhardt play the whole game. I saw him getting picks. I saw him having great shields.
That shatter was beautiful.
The shatter was beautiful. Phenomenal play from Arizona. But as well, we saw Flame Turtle on that Pharah getting really key picks, getting a lot of damage in. We saw Tandon on that Sombra. Hacks all over the place.
Play of the game.
Great play. Yeah, play of the game. Great flanks. Great everything. Both Utah and Arizona, both great teams here, honestly, on this. You know, Utah's having a 3-0 match score right now, but I don't know. Arizona's killing it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen this in other titles, too, for PACG, where even the lower edge of the standings, the teams that occupy that space still give us really competitive showings in all of the games. So it's nice to see that Arizona still putting their best foot forward, even in a show match against the top-rated team so far in the PACG.
Top-rated teams. Whether or not being in a separate division, they're still going against this top-rated team, and they're still holding their own. They're doing a really good job.
Giving them a run for their money. I mean, these close rounds have been a pleasure.
Yeah, Utah's going to have to either make some changes or feel a little bit more comfortable.
What kind of changes would you like to see from Arizona to maybe take this next round?
From Arizona?
Yeah. Maybe take a game. Maybe just a round at least.
I think they need to keep eye progress on the Hiscan DPS.
Okay.
They need to take him off the Widow, but they need to keep him on the more consistent Hiscan DPS.
So
he did
Soldier?
Phenomenal. Soldier and McCree.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he did phenomenal on those characters. I think what was it? Agent Snow on that Reinhardt, phenomenal play, as well as Super Micro on the Zarya. Those two did very well with that Reinhardt Zarya combo. That's a strong combo on its own, but the two work together really well. And I think Arizona needs to keep those heroes there. They seemed to be very comfortable, so I think they need to pay what they're more comfortable with. We saw not GM, getting onto Genji or this or that,
trying to get the flanks, not quite working out.
Yeah, but not finding what he needs to do. So we want to see not GM also on heroes that he's more comfortable with. I can't remember what he really played there that last map, but we want to see him on those comfortable characters. And
let's take stock of what we've seen so far between these two teams. Let's take a look at the maps. You can see Blizzard World was convincing for Utah. They smashed both defense and offense. It was dirty.
It was dirty.
That
Blizzard World game.
It was painful to watch that Bastion setup.
That's when I thought that Arizona was going to get rolled, and I started losing a little bit of hope for Arizona. But then we got Hanamura.
Yeah, that was a lot closer.
They took a point. They had those overtime pushes.
Yep.
They had those very key pushes there. I started seeing Arizona play. I started seeing them as a team work together.
Yeah, and you can see that when they get their map choice, they're comfortable with those, and they know what strategy works for them. Their teamwork is there. That's why they're able to take a point on Hanamura. And the Lee Jong, both rounds, really, really close.
Really, really close. I mean, extremely close. I mean, I think they got at least 90% both games.
Yeah.
Right. If not maybe 85.
Close enough.
Yeah, but close enough. But convincing. I think Arizona. This is the last map here that we're going to have. It looks like it's Route 66,
yep.
And I think if they keep the same kind of confidence and play style that we saw in Lijiang Tower, I think they have a chance of taking this map completely.
So which would you rather see, McCree for the hit scan, or do you want to see Soldier on this particular map?
I think I want to see. I want to see Soldier. If he's feeling more comfortable on Widow, this is a pretty good Widow map. But if not, I want to see Soldier. That's more reliable. You know, it's more reliable damage, and you're going to need a lot of shield break for Route 66.
Too bad. Not going to see the Old Western get his kicks on Route 66.
Not going to say, yeah, we're not going to see the Old Western.
We might. But Soldier, probably the better option. You mentioned it's a little bit more reliable, can do a little bit more.
Pick.
Yeah, that's definitely Soldier. Just the classic all-around safe pick for anything.
The classic DPS character, the classic shooter, right?
Yep.
I mean, you got a gun, and you left click, and it fires bullets.
Great.
I mean, that's all you need, right?
Real complicated. Practice that at home. But Route 66 should be good. Again, this is loser's choice, so this is Arizona. They've looked stronger and stronger, it seems, on each map they've now chosen in a row.
They're getting more and more confident.
Yeah, more and more confident. The teamwork is already there. We're not seeing a lot of missteps in their communication.
Not at all.
Not really. So we'd like to see maybe even one step better of a performance here, because they took a point on Hanamura, really close both rounds on Lijiang Tower. Maybe here on Route 66, will the answer be there for Arizona?
Yeah, and I'm sitting here seeing the preview, and iProgress is doing exactly what I told him to do. He's playing Soldier. He's playing that safe pick.
I like it. I like it a lot. It looks like a really strong front line here for Arizona. They're going to be setting up a really strong defense. Do they hold this corner, or do they back up and hold closer to the gas station?
It's a double turret composition here, though.
Ooh.
It's very stationary here. They have the time to set up. They have a Torbjorn turret, and they have the Bastion. Orisa's going to be protecting the Torbjorn, and Reinhardt's going to be protecting that Bastion. Flame Turtle sets up that turret, and now he's able to flank. This is exactly what we want to see. Tannen getting pulled off, but he's going to be able to get back on the point. They're not able to capitalize on Tannen getting pulled off.
Oh, man, this 7v6 payload just looks gnarly. Oh, but great pull there from Orisa. Separates the team. There's the Torbjorn turret gone.
There we
that
go.
flank is
Both
not as
turrets
strong
are dead.
now.
Now Utah can't set up. This is exactly what I wanted to see from Arizona. Arizona, phenomenal play. Utah does not have time to set up. We're most likely going to either see them switch, or they're going to have to get a team wipe and then push back onto that payload to set back up. But Flame Turtle's still in the back here, providing a flank and kind of providing annoying turrets here on the high ground.
We're getting pretty low. Here's the 1v1. Nice shot. Not GM. He's showing his skill here with the nice ricochets. Some classic play. Here's the Riptire. Will we see it come through? Reinhardt put the shield down.
Oh, Dog21 getting taken out on that Reinhardt. And we also see Sin on that Symmetra. I don't know. They're still pushing this turret. This turret, the payload. It basically is a turret at this
right?
point.
It's a running turret. Oh, man. The Molten Core didn't really do anything for them. But you know what is? Tannen here. It's going to time out, but he got a couple of kills during the duration of his ultimate.
They set back up.
Yep.
Yeah.
How do you get to do that? In motion, reset, set back up. They don't... Is that a Torbjorn turret? I can't quite tell. I think that's just Bastion on the front
There's a Bastion on the front, and Torbjorn's trying to get his turret there on the back, but Orisa's butt is too big.
There we go.
Blocking that turret.
Yep.
He had to move.
Get out of my way. Gets it up to level 2. Not quite with his ultimate anywhere near, so
I
no
think
level
he had
3.
used it there.
He did.
On
it did not last, though. On the very last push, nearing the checkpoint, using the Molten Core, but he got nothing for it because he just got deleted during its duration. Unlucky there.
Absolutely deleted. The turret going down again.
Yeah, that's
but
very
Tannen's
good.
still alive. So Flame Turtle, he's doing his best. He's hiding behind the turret. He's staying alive, which you want. If the Torbjorn's alive, he's still useful.
Yep.
He's able to get the turret set back up, and you know, regardless if it's taken down, but he's also able to deal a lot of damage. We see Flame Turtle doing a really good job dealing damage as Torbjorn himself and not relying on the turret. And here we see Tandon on getting a boost there, and I don't know. There's just Arizona's scared.
Yeah, configuration tank doesn't really do much for them. It's hard to hit those rockets straight into a mobile target in the air, a couple of mobile targets. The pharmacy is now here. Nope, not quite.
Oh,
Looks like they dropped the Pharah. Oh, excuse me, I was looking at Arizona. They do have it. And almost double ults. If they can actually have...
Teleporter in the back?
Ooh, this could be gnarly here for Utah if they can get it set up.
Shield gen? Shield gen.
Shield gen.
They're confident.
Right.
They don't want to teleport. They want a shield gen. There's a lot of health here now in Utah. They have Torbjorn armor. They have Symmetra shields.
This is indefensible. Look at that hit scan damage. It's all buffed up. The shields are there too. Even the sentry turrets falling don't really matter at that point. Progress, able to take out something, but not able to help the push.
Stop. Look at how much health Utah has. They've got shields. They've got shields. They've got shields.
Do they have shields? Something like that, man. The high seas here for this pirate ship. Just, I mean, how do you stop something like this? There's a full cone of shielding and barriers around them. Finally able to take a good fight. They take out the turrets, but the payload's still in motion, almost there. Just a few meters away. Here's the last little push. The barrier's in front, and that's going to be it. Utah with a convincing push on the payload. I mean, like, did everybody there, other than Torbjorn trying to get the flanks, get that achievement for the 100 meters without leaving the payload? I mean, that's what it looked like to me.
I mean, it seemed like, I mean, maybe that first point there where the gas station was.
Kind of split a little bit.
Maybe they split a little bit. Maybe they got off. But I don't know. That was impressive. Utah, double turret, holding their own. Flame Turtle, I don't know if Flame Turtle actually died as Torbjorn himself. I think he stayed alive that whole game.
He died the one time when he was using Molten Core at the last edge of that first checkpoint. But that was it. Other than that, he was just
phenomenal Torbjorn
gameplay
gameplay.
And putting out the damage.
I wish I had that Torbjorn on my team.
Yeah, it's that feel, right? When you see somebody who's putting out a lot of damage, there's a nice damage carry. You always have those flashbacks to your own solo matches where you're like, oh, I remember playing against that. That feels real bad. And then you rarely can remember the times where you have one of those on your team because the matches are just so short. They're such smashes when you have such a good player putting out so much damage that you just quickly win in like 2 minutes per point. So could see a little bit more of that from Utah, but they're going to now be looking to put on a defense.
Put on a really good defense. And I just... You know, I think Arizona is still playing strong, but I don't think they were expecting that.
No, who was?
I don't think anybody was expecting that. That's a very weird composition to see.
I mean, they had barriers on front and back. Orisa shielding the backside, Reinhardt setting up in front, and double turrets.
They have so much defense. I mean, just imagine. Almost every character on their team had armor. The tanks obviously had their own armor, but stacked Torbjorn armor. Stacked with barriers protecting everybody, stacked with the Symmetra shield generator coming in at the end. I mean, there's so much health.
Yeah. I mean, it's a mobile,
and we see full dive from Arizona.
Nuke, really.
Full dive from Arizona. They're not even playing a turret composition.
This should be real nasty. Okay.
Never mind. Maybe 21. Halted a little bit. They're going to have to reset, wait for Ivaragis to come back. But again, full dive, very interesting to see. Utah not really playing an anti-dive composition here. Flame Turtle on that on the Torbjorn again. So they're going to have to make sure that Tandon is sitting here in the back.
Just
Man,
kind of scouting it out a little bit there. He almost gets taken out. Nice teleport back. But just getting a little bit more information around there since you don't have that line of sight around this chokehold. Nice flank here, though. Once again,
Tandon is really good Somber gameplay. He's being a pest. He's hacking. He's being in the back, and he's escaping when he needs to. Really good. Sin on... One healer?
Okay.
Sin on Soldier? Sin doing really good on Soldier?
Is he going to out-damage?
Sin getting 3 picks on Soldier?
Is that happening? Wow, that's almost a complete wipe here for Utah. Nice defense. They hold that choke point. Looks like they're going to be resetting here. Sombra, once again, getting information for the team, trying to scout out if there's any changes to the lineup, seeing if Arizona's trying to regroup or reconsider their dive comp, and if they really want to go for that.
I think they are reconsidering. iProgress is now on the Widowmaker, not GM on the Genji. Like I said, he didn't feel as comfortable on the Genji before. He wasn't doing as well, but you know, maybe they can pull something off. iProgress again on the Widow. Really, it didn't seem doing much, but maybe he'll pull something out here. We've got to see something from Arizona here, though.
Here it is.
The hammer!
Flame Turtle gets his fire put completely out, snuffed in the face.
Fire extinguisher is needed.
Yeah, I mean, Molten Core. All right, now you're just Obsidian Rock because that lava's gone.
Sin has the high ground, uncontested. He's getting so low. He's still alive, though. He's not dead. Well, he 1 HP. I saw him at 1 HP.
It's a melee kill and not GM's Genji. What is this Soldier gameplay, Zader? He's just popping off.
That was Arizona's push, but they left Sin on the high ground. They let him keep that high ground, and they let him deal so much damage, and they all got taken out.
Sin looking beautiful on this.
Sin is looking
here,
absolutely
man, like,
wonderful on this
that's
Soldier
fun
right
to see
now.
when you see a support move on to
He's having fun.
carry. Yeah, he's having a great time in this show match.
Right now.
Ooh, the Widow has the high ground, gets taken
Not
out.
anymore.
Flame Turtle swapping over here to Tracer. You can see trying to scout out once again. Tandon, I like this play. He's looking just for the back line. Almost gets.
Oh,
yeah,
he
does. Nice.
And
pull
gets
there.
out with 57 HP. Perfect.
Not
Perfect.
even close.
Not even close. But I mean, he's getting picks. He's staggering them. He's being Sombra, and I hate that. I hate it.
I think it's fun to watch.
I hate that he's doing such a good job with Sombra.
Yeah, it's a little bit more interactive than the recall that you can get from Tracer. I like it, but it's a little harder to play against.
Dark 21 dropping really, really low here.
Ooh, nice pull.
He's still not
Expecting
dead,
that.
though. He's still not dead. Look at his health. There he goes. There he
Aw,
goes.
super
All right.
close.
I was going to be really excited if he lived
The
there.
supercharger defense not really working too well for Utah, as they're actually getting aggressed on. Oh, as
Minotaur.
I say that.
Look at all those picks. Wow.
Rest in pepperonis, Arizona.
Oh, no,
Oh,
not GM.
great
No, that's not what you want
pull.
to see. Oh.
30 seconds remaining. You heard the announcer there. One final push will be here for Arizona. We might be able to take this. Oh, one more hook right onto the support. Beautiful. 100-0 there. Dog 21 looking great here. This is the whole hog.
whole
Can do up to
hog
5,000 damage
out.
if he lands everything.
Let's
you never see that.
go. He's pushing
That's
them all
a
away.
great
He's sitting.
pull.
Oh,
my
Oh.
goodness. He's on point with these
Dog.
hooks.
What? Oh, Genji looking for the point, doing as much as he can. He's got the Dragon Blade out. He's scaring everyone. Mutatone, however, is not having any of that. Tandon switching over to the Hanzo instead of the Sombra.
He bought enough time, though. Overtime is still at full ticks.
They're pushing.
They are pushing.
No.
Oh.
They're not pushing anymore.
Just kidding. Feels bad.
Arizona faltered that match. I
Yeah.
think that initial offense from Utah put Arizona in an odd place, and they didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it was a weird attempt to play
And
a
here we
dive
see
bomb.
Sin on the Soldier, again, a
Yeah.
healer main on the Soldier,
Watch
and just
this.
dominating.
He gets the high ground, and they just forget about him, right? He's going to turn around here, and then he's going to have a lot of room to just put out the damage. And great
He's just getting
hit scan
picks.
there. I mean, he had great aim on all of that. Being able to track multiple members with their backs turned to him, nobody seemed to recognize. Yes, that is not a support hero.
Not
It is
a
Sin,
support.
but he is just putting out the paint. Like, that was awesome.
That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
This entire match was phenomenal. Arizona showed their strength. They can do it. They know what they're doing. They can win. So we want to see that from Arizona here. They're going to have one more match. They're going to have one more match next week. So if they can get a 1-2 score, they can put their name out there at least.
Yeah.
They can get the one.
Yeah.
So we see that from them. They can win. I know they can. They're playing against one of the best teams here in the PACG.
You have to remember that.
You have to remember
and
that.
it's a show match.
And they put up a hell of a fight.
Yeah, they did. They really did. A lot of close, especially the Lijiang Tower, 2 rounds in a row, 90+% for both teams. Arizona was there.
Arizona
they showed
was
up.
most definitely there. I know they can do it. And so let's go ahead and look back
let's
again at these
recap.
maps and see where Arizona had their strong points.
Now, you can't really see it in the score because you only just see like the finality of these maps. But
Right.
Blizzard World, nothing really much to say there other than it was hugely convincing for Utah. They just
But
destroyed
Arizona didn't tilt. They had
No,
the
they
losers
didn't.
pick map.
Right. That mentality, they hold on to it, stay positive. They pick Hanamura, and from there, they show that they can take 1 point And then that gives them a confidence for Lijiang. Yes, they fall 2-0 on that map, but it was so close.
So close. Like we said, 90% plus for each team on both maps. I mean, valuable team fights, great team synergy, ult usage, everything. Arizona had it. They just faltered there on those little key points. But this is a learning point for Arizona.
Yeah, the climax of the story for me was that second point on Lijiang, where that point in particular, in King of the Hill, you normally don't see a 99-99 game on that particular point. Once you cap that, you kind of just have it. You just hold it, right?
Right.
But in almost completely mirrored compositions, Arizona totally gave Utah a run for their money, and that was beautiful to watch.
It was absolutely amazing. And I have mad props for Arizona. Obviously, I'm a Utah fan. I go to Utah, blah, blah, blah. But mad props for Arizona here. I didn't expect that from them at all.
Yeah, congrats to them, keeping their wits about them and putting on a show. And, of course, congratulations to Utah for putting on their own show, a clinic, really, especially on Blizzard World. That was
4-0.
Painful. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think this was amazing. But we're going to go ahead and cover what's next here on today's matches. I know there's a lot of you joining in here just recently, but don't leave yet. We have a rebroadcast of, again, another phenomenal match that we had the other week.
And you may be wondering why rebroadcast? Well, there's a reason. These two teams are phenomenal and a
UCLA
pleasure to watch. So you
Arizona.
don't want to miss this. Because if you weren't for us live in week 5 when we saw this matchup, you want to see it now.
You
and then
want to see it now.
after that, we'll come back to live. You and I will be casting USC versus ASU. Both these teams are really good. Question marks there for USC with the changes to their lineup, and ASU, they have some of the best players in PACG.
They've got some of the best players. They've got tier 2 team players.
Yeah.
You know, they've got players working towards contenders. ASU is very strong, and we've seen them against Utah as well. We had a grudge match. We've seen them in DreamHack as well, and they beat Utah.
And there are serious playoff implications for that third match you saw on the schedule. We just finished the first one. The next one is a great rebroadcast for you guys to watch. In the meantime, while we get those teams set up, they have exams and whatnot, so they had to schedule it a little bit later, and you can see USC versus ASU will be that last showing of today, and it should be explosive, and once again, playoff implications up the wazoo.
And you will see exactly how strong Arizona is in this rebroadcast. You will get a taste of what you're going to see in this third match with Arizona. UCLA put up a fight in this match too. Yeah. UCLA knew what they were doing, and they knew Arizona, and they monstered that match as well. Arizona did. I'm not going to actually spoil. Arizona did or did not take that match, but UCLA monstered it, and you're going to see exactly how strong ASU is.
Yeah. A little bit of a scouting you can get alongside us in this rebroadcast before we see it live. USC versus ASU coming up later on this evening. Don't go anywhere. We're going to get a short break before we come back to show you, once again, UCLA versus ASU coming your way in just a moment.
And again, I am Xander, Zader, or Zader, whatever you want to see, whatever you want to call me.
Xander the Zader.
Xander the Zader.
Doctor here prescribing that pharmacy time and again. Excellent work there. Pleasure to cast with you. My name's Jake at Superman Casting. Check me out on Twitter, Twitch, the like, supermancasting.com. We'll see you after the break.
Peace.